Welcome to the Phil Double L podcast, and this week's going to be a slightly different format than usual. Let's get straight on into the waffle section to find out exactly why. Howdy, everyone who's been to the channel before knows who I am, but if you don't, my name's Phil. So as I've just said, this week's update is going to be slightly different than usual. There's going to be no highs and hellos again, and there's going to be no community news this time. It's going to be a shorter video than usual, shorter update. I'm going to cover as much as I can. The reason being, my partner just surprised me this morning, which is Thursday the 27th of November, with news that tomorrow after school we're going to pick the boys up at 3:30 and go straight to York for a long weekend as a surprise for my birthday, which I will be turning 43 on Saturday. Yep, 43 years of age this Saturday. I have no idea where that time has gone. It's absolutely flown. It's absolutely flown. I can still remember going to York before the boys were born, so you're talking 9-10 years ago now. It's a place called Thirsk. We're going to be staying in this nice lodge, wood lodge, with our own private hot tub. The boys will be in and out of that all day and night, I had no doubt. We'll be in Thirsk, which is where the racetrack is, and then we'll be heading into York on the Saturday for a bite to eat. She'll be having a few drinks. I'm still off the booze. I think it's 7 or 8 days now with no drink, so that's going well. But we'll cover all that in the update at the end. I just want to get a couple of things out in this week's update. It's going to be a much shorter version, like I said, and then I can do a really quick edit and put it up hopefully tomorrow morning, which will be Friday morning before, like I said, we go tomorrow afternoon. So the first and the main thing I want to cover from this week, and it was the main topic of last week's video, and I got so many comments from all of you, and about, if I had to guess, 99.9% of you said, do not take a break, Phil. And the ones who did say was very supportive. You said, do what you think's right, Phil. So thank you everyone for commenting on that. I'm going to listen to all you. I'm going to not take a break. What I am going to do instead, and what I've done, is I've gone to a 2.5 milligram dose. So as opposed to taking the 10 milligram, I know that's a big drop, and a lot of you are going to start worrying about it, but the 10 milligram really did feel like it was working for me, but I don't feel the food noise is any different. I feel like between 10, 5, 7.5 and 10, there hasn't been any difference in the food noise. I've not had food noise at any dosage. The suppression was definitely higher and better on the 10. I didn't notice much difference on the 7.5, I must admit, but on the 10 it was definitely different. But I think obviously I've knocked, I'm not losing weight, but I feel like I've got the skills now to, even on 2.5, to eat the same as I was, I'm eating on 10. It proves, I will get to the update, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I've had a really good week or so, or more now. But yeah, I decided to listen to all you in the community. I'm not going to be taking a break. Christmas and New Year was a terrible time to think about having a break. You were so right. So many temptations. There's so much going on at that time of year. And it was more than likely I was going to take the break and just pile the weight on over the Christmas and New Year, especially with the Zakopane holiday coming up the week before Christmas, leading straight into, we'll be eating while I'm away there, the markets and things like that. So we'll be eating unhealthy while I'm there with no real exercise apart from walking around in the snow and skiing, maybe. I don't know if we're going skiing. I'm not sure. I don't think we are. Boys have never done it, so I'm not sure. We'll find out in there. We've got husky riding, everything, but we'll cover that in a later video when we get close to time. And obviously, I'll like do some footage while I'm there, which would be something new for the channel I've never done. But it's snowing really quite heavy in Zakopane at the moment. It's not the heavy snow time of year, but we're just down from the mountain. We will be going up into the mountains one day. That was not what this video was about. That's not what I was meant to be waffling about in this video. But yeah, it was an awful time to be thinking about taking a break. With that coming up, then Christmas, then New Year, there's a good chance I might have piled on at least a stone or more over that 3 or 4 week period. So thanks for all your support. Thanks for all the messages and, advised me that was a really bad idea. But I've gone from 10 milligrams to 2.5 milligrams, and I won't be taking a break over the Christmas time. I am excited to get into how this week's been. I think it's been my best week in a long time. But again, I will get to that in the weekly update at the end of the video. Another thing to cover this week is I've always prided myself on answering every single one of your comments, or at least I think I answer every one of your comments. Sometimes I don't answer the replies to my reply, if that makes any sense to any of you. I know what I mean there. But yeah, this week, unfortunately, I've just not got around to commenting on every single person's comment. That had nothing to do with, obviously, we're not doing the highs and lows. That I've explained that. I'm just going to do a shorter update this week, but I haven't had the chance. I'm really sorry. I had the presentation in work, which you remember I set a goal for. Again, I'll cover that shortly. But I had that on, so there was a lot of out of hours working to put into getting those slides and the presentation and practice and rehearsing all that. That was today. That was this afternoon when I presented the board in our team. It was like a leadership academy kind of thing in work, and it was a lot of effort went to that. It took up a lot of me time away from the channel, unfortunately. So yeah, that's happened. But I haven't managed to reply to everyone's comment this week. I'm sorry. I've liked and thumbs up every comment, but there's quite a lot of you, and especially regulars, have commented there, saw your name. I just haven't had time. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'll try to do better next week. Moving on though, and like I said, there is no community news this week, but there is one thing I wanted to pick up on. Obviously, last week's video was like I used Robbie Williams and his eyesight claim, and I think a lot of us agreed that could be Mr. Williams's choice of alcohol and recreational drugs in his early life and in midlife could have had an impact on that. Plus his age, 51 doesn't mean you're going to lose your eyesight, your eyesight's going to go bad, but that tied in with his earlier escapade, should we say, in life. I was thinking about as well as I've got a couple of lights here, which, you know, obviously they're so bright. If I look directly at them, I can't see the camera right now. If you spend your life in front of cameras from the age of, what was he, 16, 17, right the way through to your 50, that's got to have some impact as well, sure, on your eyesight. But anyway, going off on a tangent there and waffling a little bit, but the reason I bring it up again this week is I saw an article that Novo Nordisk, which I believe are a Danish company, have paid compensation to 4 people in Denmark for impacting their eyesight via taking Wegovy. I'll potentially dig out the story in full for next week. I did read it. I've not got it to hand right now. Like I said, this is a really short improv video. I'm doing this a completely different way, guys. I've not got a script or anything. I normally have my laptop here with notes on. I'm just speaking directly to you this week with just a few notes on my phone here just to go through and make sure I'm covering everything that I wanted to. But yeah, 4 people have been paid compensation for eyesight deterioration or it wasn't loss. But yeah, I'll dig the full story out and I'll cover it properly in next week's community news. Maybe there is something in it. A few in the comments did say the early trials showed some impact on eyesight, but I'm not sure whether that was all GLP-1s or specific GLP-1s, but I'll do a bit more digging next week, guys, and I'll try and do a full update on that. Just, you know, it's a worrying thing, but we'll see, and maybe it's just specific to Wegovy, but I'll try and find out more for next week's video. So what I will move on to now, though, this week is my weekly update. And I mentioned before, it has been a fantastic week for me. It really has now. You're going to hate me. The Garmin's gone. It's not gone. It's over there on a table. It's on sale on eBay. And it's been replaced by this. It's a watch I'd looked at multiple times, and I didn't pick it up because of the charge time. It can take up to 2 hours to fully charge, which is ridiculous. So it's more like 18 minutes, but it can take up to 2 hours. But it ties in so well. I've got a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 phone. I've got a Samsung phone. And this is the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra, which it was really pricey. It's come down in price. I've got that to tie in with my phone because it's going to give me some extra insights that I wouldn't get from the Garmin. And it's also now added a fitness coach. So I've been following this the same way I got the Garmin for that. Samsung didn't have it till recently. Now it has, and it's got a bespoke coach, and I've been following that this week. So I've done 3 sets of exercise. I did an initial test, and the first 2 of the 3 I need to do this week. I need to do another one on Sunday. I'll be doing that, but it's coaching me towards a really much quicker 5K time. So it's got the coach on, the reason why I moved to the Garmin, but it's also got those smart features. But I've also tied it in with this, which you might have seen the other week. I had the 6 weeks trial. It was 4 weeks and they gave me an extra 2 weeks. It was a 6-week trial of the Whoop, and I didn't like it. I wasn't keen on it. Reason being, at the time, I did 0 exercise over those 6 weeks. I was drinking, say heavily, I was drinking every weekend and once, sometimes through the week, and it was just giving me bad scores and telling me I was doing bad, and there was no point to it. But I have decided I'm going to really push myself now going forward to try and get this plateau gone. And I thought the best combination would be smartwatch I like with the extra features. This does body fat composition and things like that, and skeleton mass and muscle mass. I'll cover it all in a future video in more detail. But I'm thinking this for the fitness with the smart features and the coach, and this for the recovery, strain, everything, and the detail in this is unbelievable, guys. It really is. Now, it's probably too much, but I want to get myself in the zone. I really want to look at everything. One thing I've not been doing during this plateau is looking at things. I've stopped recording food. I've gone back to recording food. Well, I have or haven't. I'm going to sign up to NutriCheck again because obviously I've come off Voy now where I was using their app. And I'm thinking about signing up to the monthly subscription for NutriCheck again, which will be tracking my food, fitness, sleep, and everything on these. I'm just going to flood myself with data and start actually looking at it and using it. When I had the Whoop, I wasn't doing anything, so there was nothing to record. I was like, what's the point in this? And it is on the trial again. I've probably shouldn't be doing it, but I've used a different email account. I've signed up and got another 4-week trial, and I'm assuming they'll give me another 2 weeks, which will take me to the middle of January. It takes about 21 days to fully baseline you. I've got some of the insights now, but it does take up to 3 weeks. So I'm going to be using them, guys, to really push myself, use the data, start tracking foods again. But yeah, I found them really, I've just tapped the mic, it's probably annoying you all there, but I found them really useful and insightful, and I've looked at all the data and seen how I've been improving and what tweaks I can make, you know, even like down to having what time did I have caffeine, what time did I eat, did I have any alone time, did I exercise, and I've been tracking it. And I was going to start with diet, but I'm going to start with exercise because this week so far, since last Thursday's Thursday now, we're not going to include this Thursday today, because I was in the office all day doing that. I've done, I think, 3 runs, two of them over 30 minutes, both with 30 minutes each, non-stop jogging, which I was really happy to get the first one and the second one out of the way. I have done 3.5 mile walks, and I've also added in the chest trainer again, which I had stopped with. A few of you asked how I was getting on with that. But I've also had the dumbbells in, and I've been doing some weight routines. I've done 3 or 4 of those over the week, and I'm really sore, but not too sore. I've been doing it correctly. The watch give me that again, what workouts and weights I should be doing, and I've always at the Whoop, one of them give me it, and I've really threw myself into this week. So I've done 8 sessions of exercise over the last 6 days. It sounds a lot, but obviously some of it's weight resistance, some of it was cardio. So I've really gone for it big time this, guys, and I've also tied that in with a really good diet. Everything was absolutely fine. I ate well, ate healthy. I've had Greek yogurt and granola for breakfast most mornings. I've had loads of fruit, loads of veg has been come back in this week. I ate what was it called? It was like a chocolate cookie pie or something. I took the boys out, just me and the 2 boys went on Saturday. Went to a big fun arena, and next door was this milkshake dessert place, and they got a milkshake and they wanted this cookie pie and they didn't like it, so I ended up finishing off. That was the bad thing I ate this week. And the only other bad meal I ate was fajitas, which I don't think they're terrible. I had 2 wraps, peppers, onions, chicken, and obviously the flavour, the seasoning goes on it. Dollop of sour cream in each one, sprinkle of cheese. They're the only 2 bad things I had all week, but I've obviously done a lot more exercise, so my calorie burn was way up. And I think it's been a really good week, like I said. Plus with the weight resistance, I'm probably going to need to get my calories up a little bit just to make sure I can carry on with that. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't do it. I never really do the weights. Anyway, I'm waffling anyway, but yeah, it's been a really good week. I think really positive. I've really threw myself into it. I'm feeling great this week. I said that last week. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. The weights have been a big thing to me. I've added I haven't just added it in, but I've been taking a supplement, which a lot of you have asked over the months of this channel, do I take supplements? And I hadn't until my friend recommended creatine. So I added creatine in about 3 weeks ago, 5 milligrams, or 5 grams every morning in a black coffee, but I've moved it to 10 for this week once I started with the weights. So I'm going to see how that goes. It's going to be a really good benefit for your cognitive things as well as your fitness. So I've added a supplement in properly this time as well. Is there anything else? No, drink. I've not drank, like I said. It's 7-8 days today without any alcoholic drinks at all. I have bought some Guinness Zeros. I'm hoping that's not going to have the same chocolate effect as on me last time. They had to take away with me. I've actually got 2 in the fridge now, chilling for after I record this video, and the rest are to go away with me for the weekend to York. I've got no plans on drinking while I'm there. Probably I'm going to eat unhealthy while I'm there, guys. I'm not going to lie, it's my birthday, so we're going to go for a meal on the actual Saturday, which is my birthday itself. I'll be taking healthier choices. I can't eat much. My stomach is 100% shrunk during all this, and even if I do order something unhealthy, I don't eat. I never finish it these days, which is a good thing. And even the fact that I've come down back to 2.5 milligrams, I still can only eat the same as I could when I was on the 10 milligrams for a few weeks, so that's good. Just in case I didn't cover that enough before, I'm still on 2.5 milligrams for the seeable. The 10 milligram pen I had is going to last me until just the middle of December, and then I might look at getting a 5 milligram pen and half dosing that as well. I've never been a big fan of advertising half dose and short dose. I know lots of us do it, and I should do it to save you money. But that's been a big factor over the last few weeks, money and how much it's costing me to carry on plateauing. And 3 months of throwing a 7.5 and 10 milligram pen down the drain basically was a big hit on me. But yeah, I'm digressing a little bit there. Apologies. But what has that absolutely, that for me, the best week I've had in a long, long time with diet, even the keto pie or whatever it was, it's been an absolutely excellent week. Plenty of exercise, much more exercise than I've done. I think I've done about 4 hours of exercise over this week, cardio and weight resistance, which is new to me. So what's that done to the scales then in my weekly results? So I weighed 16 stone 3 pound last week, and I've not got notes here with me, guys. Unfortunately, I'll put it up on screen, but I don't know exactly what that is in pounds and kilos, but I'll stick it on screen for you. And today I know I've had a fantastic week, but I'm 16 stone 3 pound. I'm exactly the same. Now, there's a theory for this, or two theories. One, apparently creatine draws water into your muscles, and that's how it helps you recover quicker and allow you to do extra sets. So it could be holding extra water in my muscles. There's also the fact that I've been doing weights. I know it's only 4 sessions, but I've done the cardio as well. So it could be like, you know, muscle might be growing slightly there as well to offset the weight loss. And yeah, I have been eating a little bit more calorie-wise, healthy food, but my calories are definitely up to around the 2,000 mark, which is a lot more than I used to eat when I was trying to lose the weight. So I'm happy with the maintaining this week, guys. Like I said, I feel absolutely fantastic. I feel brilliant. I'm not going to show you now. I'm not going to stand up and take my top off because that's not no one wants to see. And you're probably going to think, no, Phil, you're just going crazy. It's probably just, you know, your mind playing tricks. My body shape looks a little bit different in the middle of this week. Now, like I said, the weight hasn't dropped on the scales, but interestingly, I put an extra new buckle notch, an extra hole, another inch up on my waist last week. That's feeling loose already. Now, the scales aren't moving, but I definitely feel over the last couple of days, I've looked in the mirror and gone, I look a slightly different shape. Now, what I mean by that is I feel like towards my hips, it's gone in a little bit, and my upper chest has gone out a little bit. I know I've done a week of weight, and I probably sound ridiculous in that, but I definitely feel like my body seems to look a slightly different shape this week than it did last week. Not by much, but just enough to say like, I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to keep going with it. But yeah, so that's where we're at, guys. It was a maintain, but I'm feeling fantastic. And I know this is a much shorter video than we're used to. It's nowhere near as in depth as it normally is. I've not done the highs, hellos, not done the community news and all things like that. But yeah, I wanted to get something out. It's going to be a nice, easy edit for me because I've not stopped. Normally, I have the script there, like I say, and I'll do a couple of lines, stop and edit it, stop and edit. So this has just been a one take. There's going to be a couple little edits where I did stutter and pause. I get a train going past there's a train track like 10 yards from where I'm sitting, maybe 15 yards. So when that goes past, I've got to stop for a second. So I'll be cutting that out. I'm waffling here outside the waffle section. I apologize, guys. But yes, it's going to be much easier to edit. I can get it uploaded tonight, and it'll be ready to post tomorrow morning or lunchtime. Like I said, I'm not going until we pick the kids up after school. I've got to pack in the morning and things like that, but it's only an overnight bag or 2 overnight bags. But yeah, I want to get it out. I want to let you know, goals. I didn't achieve the 16 stone for today's presentation, but like I said, felt fantastic going into the presentation today. Jeans were leaving looser again, and everything's starting to loosen up again, where it had tightened up over the last few weeks, where I'd gone back up to, you know, 16 stones at 10 pound I got to, or whatever. Back down to 16.3. It's feeling really good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to using the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra, the Whoop, combining them and getting NutriCheck back on Monday. I think I'll start from with that, record my meals and making sure I'm doing everything right and actually using the data. You know, I've told you guys I love me watches. Why wasn't I using the data? It was a stupid thing to do, paying all that money for the watches and then not actually listening or using it. So we're going to go down that route, and I am definitely keeping the weight up. I'm enjoying doing the weights. Don't tell anyone. I've actually enjoyed that. Not a big fitness person, but I enjoyed the weights this week. I really have. It was pushing myself, not too much, but just enough. And I feel good. I feel good, and long may it continue. Just before we finish though, guys, if you are not already, please subscribe to the channel and like this video if you enjoyed it, if you found it useful, fun, or informative, and turn on the notification bell. The only other thing I've got left to say about this week is, how have you enjoyed this version of the update? I had never planned to do it until I found out this morning I was going to York, but it has been something on my mind. Do you guys like the structured version I do each week, where I sit down, I tell you what's coming up this week in the video? I then go into the waffle section, I then go into the highs and hellos, I then go into the tips and advice, I then go into community news, I then go into the weekly update, and I have it all structured like that. Or do you prefer this, me just sitting here talking to you and having a much more free-flowing conversation with you guys than that structure? There'll be more stuff in next week, so if I did it like this, it will be a bit of a hybrid of the two. It'll be the structure, the stuff that's in the structured videos, but more of this chatty back and forward, not quite as organised. Or do you like it really rigid and structured, and you know what's coming, and you like the next bit, the next bit, the next bit? If you missed not having that today, leave it in the comments if you don't mind. Let me know which version you prefer. Do you prefer the structured version of the updates, or do you prefer this more Phil waffling for the whole duration of the weekly update? Let me know. And don't forget, if you can listen to this on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening on either of them and you want to come over and see me on video, I know you can on Spotify, but you can come over to YouTube. There'll be a link in the description for those podcasts down below. For now though, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good week. Have a great weekend. I'm going to enjoy my birthday weekend. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're all doing fantastic. If I can do this, you can do this. We can all do this. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.